Hey friends, Carrie from Stretch Chi. It's good to see you. I hope you're excited because we're going to do a bunch of problem solving for your glutes to get your glutes activated. It's a pretty big problem actually. If people get inactive glutes, it means that you don't really have the knee stability that you need. I also know a lot of people who have had injuries from marathons especially, where the glutes become inactive. There's a muscular imbalance, and it means that they're more susceptible to injuries. And I have a couple clients who come to me with ankle breaks, where they actually tripped on a rock and fell over and broke their ankles, have the same kind of pathology, they are missing glute activation on that side, and it's a couple years after marathon running. I think there's a correlation there. So interesting little side note. But today we're gonna work on getting these glutes activated. Good? Yeah, let's do it. So first we're gonna start off with a stretch for your inner thighs. We'll get to the glutes later, but we need to work on some of the other muscle groups. So lay on your back. Bring your feet up towards the ceiling and grab your knees on the inside. Squeeze your legs together for strength trainings. These muscles on the inner thighs are going to be really active. They're trying to squeeze your legs together. Then your arms are going to pry your legs apart, and you go as far as you feel like you want to, and then you pull right back in. So open for stretch and close for strength. I forgot to tell you guys, if you've never done Ki-Hara before, click that link in that little gray box right there that says watch this first, Ki-Hara rules, because you need to know a few things before you do this. You need to move, resist, and stay out of pain. If you haven't watched that video yet, watch it right now before you do anything else. And then if you're ready, squeeze in and open up. This stretch you should feel in your inner thighs. When we're problem solving, we are unlocking barriers, removing barriers that are keeping you from being able to stretch your glutes. There's something there, there's something wrong. For some reason your body's like, no, I can't do this. That could be your inner thighs, but it might not be. It might be something different. So if you're stretching something and it doesn't feel good, in this video specifically, just don't do it. Just skip it. Because it may not be the thing that you need to do to unlock your glutes. And we're focusing specifically on your glutes. So not every stretch in this video is going to be pertinent to you. If you feel like it just doesn't feel good, skip it. Not a big deal. If it does feel good, you need to do that stretch a lot. It's your body being like, this thing is exactly what I need. So do that thing. And then when we go back to your glutes later, we'll get some activation, okay? All right, the next stretch you're gonna do is for your hip flexors. You're gonna come into a lunge, bring your right leg in the front, your left leg's behind, and you're gonna scissor both legs. So your front leg is kicking back, your back leg is gonna try to pull up. But the mat's in the way, so it's gonna stop you. If you really were crazy about it, my socks are too slippery, it would double your mat up just like this. So you're gonna pull in, use your front leg to pull you forward, but let this motion come from your hips and not from your shoulders. So when I pull forward into the stretch, I'm not pulling my upper body into the stretch, I'm actually pulling my lower body into the stretch, and see my shoulders are kind of staying where they're at. And then you pull back, my shoulders kind of stay in one place, and then my leg pulls me forward and my hip comes forward, but my shoulders do not. Do you see that? Little trick. That gets this stretch right here in the front of your hip flexors, and that's what we want. So you just go back and forth. If you don't feel this in your hip flexors, or if this is too much on your knees, it's okay, just don't do it. It may not be what you need, remember? It's not important in this case. So you pull back for strength. All this motion is coming from your back leg. It's like you're trying to pull your knee into your chest, and your front leg will pull you forward. It's almost like if you were playing tug of war. You'd be like, pull, and then pull, and you'd be like, no, right? In tug of war. Okay, let's try the other side. Bring your right leg behind, your left leg in the front. You're gonna scissor both legs in. This front leg is pulling back this way. Your back leg is trying to pull forward. And you just go back and forth. So your front leg will pull you into the stretch, and your back leg will pull you back. Remember to keep your shoulders kind of right where they are. You might move a little bit, but it's not a clear entire torso moving forward. That's not what we want. We want to move from the hip joint forward and then back. So your hip comes forward and then your hip comes back. You should feel it right in front of your hip joint. On the right side. Forward for stretch, back for strength. And you just go back and forth. And one more. Nice work. The next stretch we're going to do is for your quads. We've done a couple different quad stretches in some of my previous videos, but I think you'll really like this one because it kind of gets the outer side of your quad, which sometimes interferes with the IT band. So we're going to work specifically on that. This might feel like an IT band stretch, but it's not. We're working on a muscle called the sartorius muscle, which goes from here at your hip down across to your knee. So it just goes across this way. This is how you do it. Lay on your back. I like to have my elbows up, but it is totally fine to lay on your back for this one. It's just how you feel. Bring your left leg out at an angle so that your foot is actually off your mat, and your hip and your knee and your foot are kind of in like a 45-degree angle out. So they're facing kind of like southwest. If this is south, then that's west, right? So down and to the left. Then take your right foot and hook it on top of your knee. Your right leg is also going to be in the same angle. So my knee and my foot are still pointing southwest. So everything's kind of in like the same line. Then you're going to resist by pushing your knee into your ankle and your ankle into your knee. And then let your right leg win to pull your knee towards your mat. And then you push up for strength. Keep your hips on the ground. So sometimes we do a stretch like this front and low back where you like let your hips roll. Don't do that because you want to make sure the hips stay stable so that you can get the quad stretch. What you should feel is here for sure, maybe down into the front of your leg. It could go onto the side of your leg. That would be okay too. If you don't, it's no big deal. Just skip it. Not a problem. Up for strength and pulling down for stretch. And pulling with my ankle, with my heel, down this way, towards this center lowest part of my mat. That's where I'm aiming for. Now clearly I'm not going to get my knee all the way down there, but I want to have that feeling like I'm driving straight down towards the corner of my mat. Right to the middle. So you're pushing up for strength and you pull down for your stretch. Let's do one more. Up for strength and down for stretch, and letting my ankle roll as I go. Then we'll switch sides. So now your right leg is going to come out at about 45 degrees. So now we're on like the southeast corner. Your left leg is going to hook over top and stay in that same diagonal. You're going to push your knee into your ankle and then use your heel to pull you down. Let your foot roll with you. Keep your hips on the ground. Your left leg wins. Your right leg is still fighting. Your right leg comes up for strength and then down for stretch. If you do want to lay on your back, it's okay too. Just make sure that your hips stay on the ground and that you're not rolling. A little bit of roll happens, but not a giant roll. Like it won't look like this. Okay, it's okay if you don't get your knee to the floor. I would be surprised if you did actually. Then you just go back and forth, up for strength and down for stretch, always resisting between your knee and your foot. Right now my left leg is winning, my right leg is fighting. I feel that on the outer part of my hip here. And that's our stretch. Doesn't feel good? It's okay, skip it. Not a big deal. Might not be the thing. Up for strength. And we'll finish on this one, down for stretch. Nice. Up into a seated position. Oh, that felt good. So now we're gonna work a little bit on the top of your shoulders. If you remember from my other videos, if you've done any other of my problem solving videos, you know that sometimes problems in your lower body could be caused by something happening in your upper body. So you're gonna bring your left arm in. This is my left arm. Why don't we mirror? I'll call it my right arm. So pull your right arm in, your left arm here on top of your wrist, and resist like you're pulling both arms to the side walls, like straight out to the side. Push up for strength. This is a deltoid raise. Your left arm is going to slow you down, your right arm is pushing up, and then you use your right arm as resistance while your left arm brings you down towards your hip. When you get close to the bottom, bring your head over to the left, and you should feel your neck stretch on the left side. And then you just come up and down. Up for strength, down for stretch. Your neck to the side. So I'm bringing my left ear to my left shoulder. And then right back up. Up for strength, down for stretch, and your head at the end. If it feels good, you can give it a little nod if you want, like very slowly to stretch out the fascia. That should feel pretty good. And then up for strength and down for stretch. Your head to the side at the very end. Let's do one more of these. Up for strength and push down for stretch. My left arm wins, my right arm's fighting, and your head at the end. Oh, feels so good. Okay, now bring your left arm in. So your elbow's kind of tucked in against your body. Your right hand's gonna grab your wrist here on top, and you'll resist like you're pulling both arms apart. Push up for strength, and then use your top arm here, your right arm, to push down for your stretch. And when you get to the bottom, drag your head over to the right. And then up for strength. And down for stretch, and your head to the right. Nice stretch through your neck and top of your shoulder here. If it doesn't feel good, it's okay, just skip it and move on to the next one. A little nod, maybe if you want to get some fascia in there too. And you just go up and down. I love this stretch. Oh boy. Such a relief. Up for strength and down for stretch. Apparently I really needed this one. Oh, this awesome feeling that I'm having right now, that you may be having or maybe not, is the kind of feeling that says, hey, we just found a barrier. When your body's like, oh, I can do this all day. This feels so good. Then you know you found one of the pieces that's gonna unlock the rest of the puzzle. It's a good sign. So we want, okay, now we're gonna move back into your glutes. We're actually gonna do some stretches that are sort of like clamshells, if you do the clamshells in strength training, to see if we can get this activation really, really working. You're gonna lay on your side, bring your knees together so that they're like in the same line, and your feet should be in the same line. That way your hips will be stacked up really well. And then you should be bent here at a 90-degree angle, and also 90 degrees at your feet. So your legs are actually gonna come off your mat, and it should look like you were sitting in a very 90-degree angle kind of chair, okay? Put your hand of your right hand on top of your right knee, or whatever your top arm is, if you lay it on the other side, and then push up for strength. My arm is slowing me down, my right leg is winning, and then you use your arm to push you back down. My right arm is still fighting, and my left leg is fighting. So my left leg is fighting, and my arm is winning. And you just go up and down. You'll know that you've got this active in the right place when you start to really feel a good burn in your glutes. So up for strength and down for stretch. Up for strength and down for stretch. If you want to add a little bonus to the stretch, on the way down, at the same speed as you're pushing your arm down, reach your foot forward in front of you to try to straighten your leg out. That's a much more intense stretch. Stretches the fascia along the outside of your leg here. That's actually that fascia is what gets tight when people have tight IT bands. So this is one of the best ways to stretch your IT band, even though that little thing doesn't really stretch very well. What you need to do more than anything is work through the muscles here, get them activated, and that will help to release any tension that you have in your IT band. We're going to do the other side. You can just roll over, or you can flip around if you want to still look at the screen. So you'll lay on your side. Bend your hips at 90 degrees so that your feet come off your mat in the front. Your knees will also be bent at 90 degrees. Take your top hand and put it on top of your knee. Line up both knees so that you're really stacked up. And then push up for strength. And then use your top arm here to push you back down. That's your stretch. And you just go back and forth. Up for strength and down for stretch. You should start to feel a little bit of burn right here in the left glute. And then if you want a deeper stretch in this one, at the same speed that you're pushing your leg down, reach your heel forward to stretch out the outside of your leg. So back up, and then slowly, slowly, slowly reach your heel away from your hip. Whew. A little more intense there, huh? Whew. Straight out for stretch. Nice work. Or you can just stay going up and down. That's okay too. But you really should feel is like, whoa, there are my glutes, and whoa, they do work. That's awesome. Now that you've done these stretches and you've gotten your glutes active, you can actually go back to the video that you were just working on and repeat that glute stretch because it'll actually be more intense, more active. You might get a little more range. It might just feel better. And that's what we're going for. That's the problem solving that we want. So go back and try it out, see how it goes. If you didn't feel it or if you are still having trouble, send me a note in the comments, send me an email. My website is stretchchi.com. You can go to stretchchi.com and just fill out a form and put in a little note. That's me typing. Put in a little note. Hey, Carrie, my glutes don't work. It's totally possible for us to schedule a one-on-one session, either online or in person if you're in Chicago. So give me a shout. We can work that out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. Not even for you, but for me, because it really does help me get out the word about this method, which is pretty cool, I think. I hope you do too. All right, I'll see you guys next time.